There we go.
One of these days we're gonna go live, and I'm not gonna sigh just as we do it. A sigh of relief as we go. Oh,
It's all right. It's okay. Is anybody hearing us as well?
hey, if anyone's there, hiya.
Yeah. I think it's good. I can hear you anyway. So I suppose
Great, I do.
You can hear me as well. All right.
Fine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for your patience, guys. Yeah, a few things actually. This week, my dreams have been next level, babe. Honestly.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. How are you feeling? Nice to see you too. How have your dreams been this week? I know a lot of people have been experiencing a lot of like vivid dreams.
Yeah.
Lucid, like just on the dream state. Oh, great. That's great to hear. I actually thought about you yesterday. I was
Good.
like, her detox is over. That's what I thought. Just as I was crossing the road, I thought about you.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
heard what after detox.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hi, Kennedy.
Yeah, it's
A lot of people have been like very lucid dreams, and plus if you couple that with the what's that tea again? That it's like
lotus,
blue
blue
lotus tea.
or
Yeah,
mugwort. Have any of you?
mugwort as well.
Do any of you like? Did you have your lucid dream like more than before? Have you been having vivid dreams more than before, or is it that they've been quite specific? Because mine have been like quite a specific theme. I don't know what you guys have found, but mine have been like, you've got to get over this, or like the night before last where they kind of took me through. Sorry, I didn't shut the door, babe. Like where they took me through like 3 different timelines, like 3 different alternate timelines where I was like, okay, now I get it. But a lot of that's going to be happening. Yeah, a lot of that's going to be happening. And you and I shared similar dream yesterday.
Yeah, actually, that was a.
I love using the show me what I need to see. Yeah. Yep. That's what I love saying, because I'm like, do I need to see something I'm not ready for? Really? Yes. I'm just like, show me what you need me to know. Show me what I need to see. I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time I've realized that we're all here now because we want to be here, and we're really just trying to do like have our best go at it.
Yeah.
So any crap that you wanted to sort out, or anything that you wanted to mend, is like now just coming to the forefront and being like, all right, mend this right now. You see this? Yeah, time to ship it out.
Yeah. I've got all what do you call it? It's what do you call it? I can't find the word. Thing you read, set your attention. What's the word? Affirmation. There you go. I've got like all affirmation before actually I go to bed, and I've got one for OBEs as well, which I did this week. And what happened is they showed me a situation where it's like it didn't feel like an OBE, but I was the observant. So in some level, it's like I don't know if it's like an astral projection. Can't really tell because I wasn't there trying to touch anything. I was there to observe what was going on, and through that, I had a lot of informations and things I needed to know. So in that affirmation, basically, it says that whatever I need to know, basically, give me the ability to say it. Or I have the ability to say it more so. So yeah.
Natalie was saying that she in her dream, she saw herself out of her body.
Yeah.
And then she's standing next to herself coming out of her body. And then she got her top half out, and she got excited, and then she went back
We're
in.
back in. Oh yeah, yeah, you had an OBE. That ain't a dream. That
That's
is
lovely.
that's an OBE. And the thing is
I
with it,
knew it was like, do you know what? I'm not circumventing like your experience for COVID. I'm not, but that was like a detox so you can activate these type of things. So many of us are going through these things like activations. If only someone told you, oh, it's all right, it's an activation. It's time you have to kind of like care for yourself, your system's kind of upgrading, and then
yeah, but
poof, you could be able to do this
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. I see what you're saying, Natalie. Like you're saying, like you never experienced watching it occur, or had it occur during a dream before. The thing is, because you're a multi-dimensional being, and now you know in awareness of it. Because it's the thing with information. The more information you get, like data, you're like a software, so you get updated and you work better in a sense. So now obviously you're in awareness that can take place. So, and I think some of the information you may have had gave you that ability. So our ability, the activation, is just a matter of being in the knowing, more than believing it. And I think that's what happened to you. That's why you've experienced it.
Yeah, for real.
Actually, and you know what? That reminds me of something. I had an instance where I started contemplating few ideas and having information. And what happened, and I had an experience where I was like a third person, and it was between a father and a daughter. And then they were actually sharing the emotion, the feelings, and what they were really, what they've been through and how it made them feel. And they were sharing it in a way that they really truly feel, or one another felt at the time, and or feeling in the present moment. And their emotion went through me, and I was at the same time the person that was looking at them, but also I was the daughter and I was the father. So that is
How
definitely
do I shut this bit? I'm not seeing as much as the chat as I'd love.
oh, that stuff.
Hi, quick inspirations.
um
Hiya.
Hiya.
How do we overcome our fears?
Thank you. Hold on a minute. How do you close that off?
I don't know how to close it, babe.
That's all right. We're gonna have to
Roll with it.
yeah, roll with it. Yeah, go back up. Just see the
Sure.
question.
Sure. She says, how do we overcome fear? I get terrified about what may occur. Fear is my problem. How do I overcome fear? Is this in dream state or is this in waking state? And if it's in both, then how I usually do it. Well, first answer that question if it's in dream state or in waking state.
Yeah.
Hi, Aga.
Hi, Aga.
Hey. I hope I'm saying your name properly all this time, Aga. It's in both. Okay. So a lot of the time when we experience fears, a lot of them are deeper programmings that are coming up so that we can transmute them. Usually, if a fear keeps on coming up, it's not because you're still suffering through it, though you're experiencing it. It's because your body, your time, your soul is ready to go for it, transmute it. How I usually ask to deal with it is by literally affirming, I now learn my lessons in loving ways, and or I now move through fear in love. And the way I'll do it is I'll call it forward in a dream. So I'll know for definite in dream state, I cannot be harmed. No soul can harm another soul. So I'll take that and I'll say, I'm ready to resolve, but this fear, or I'm ready to resolve my fears around this. But what I'll also say is, I'm ready to resolve my fears around this illusion, or I'm ready to resolve my fear around that illusion. And the reason I call it an illusion is because when we who we really are doesn't experience this on a suffering level. It's in this avatar we do. In this avatar we choose to experience it like that. So when you already call it out as an illusion, it's now for you to allow your body and your soul to give you the chance to run the simulation for you in a safe space. So you'll call it through for a dream. And then in the dream, you'll be confronted with that fear. And it's something that you can like safely run over and over again, knowing that you're not going to get into harm, knowing that you are going to have a chance again um to to just face it without attaching any shame to it, because on this side we feel like there's consequences, and if I don't do it then this is going to happen, and it's that type of thing. So we kind of front run the failure. But in dream state you can always be like, I've got this today. Tonight is going to be the night. And it could be for anything, like from anything to spiders or to poverty to abandonment. There's so much things that we find ourselves fearful of, and the safe dream space is really a great space to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Explain it
sending you
well.
love.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And you know, always affirm that you are never alone. Always affirm that you are your highest version of yourself now. You
Yeah.
are connected. You don't need a third party to connect. You are already connected. So when you do run these simulations for yourself, you know that you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with your higher self. Like, you have orchestrated this to happen, and you got this for sure.
Yeah, and I think if you can shift your perception as well, it will help. So maybe even if you give certain things that scares you, give it another name. So maybe instead of, because when you say my fears, you own it. So that's important to understand, because you are everything in a sense, but that's not your identity, because that's an illusion, and that's just a feelings that's attached to whatever you're experiencing, that we call it fear. So now if you begin to change your perception about it, and start seeing it maybe a little differently. So some people, that's why like you see it a lot in children, when they scare at night and they think they're seeing a monster. It helps for them to not see it as a monster, but as maybe just a being, might be a little annoying, but it's not here to harm you. Even if you're thinking, okay, potentially I can be harmed, and it's in the back of your head, that's also understanding it will help you, because that's your mind as well going in overrun. So if you can tone it down, find a way where, I don't know, maybe you picture whatever you're scared about to be something else than what it is, just even temporary, to be able to help you calm down. And when you calm, you can start revisiting some of them, and slowly, work your way out of that fear, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not giving so much importance, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though honestly, day to day, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm without fear. You know, I I I know that my whole entire goal here is to experience life fearlessly. But for now, while I still have some, I just I I I know that I'm going to face them. Like, I know I'll face them, and I just make it something that's a priority to me to face them, because I know that that inevitably is what is holding me back, or what is bringing all any illusions and distortions in my field, is the fears that I'm holding around things. And they could be little things, or what seem to be little things to other people. But when you extrapolate it to yourself, you're like, nah, that's a big deal. Nah, that's a deal breaker for me. And that's how it goes sometimes. But that's why we have these talks, so we can kind of encourage one another.
Yeah. One thing
That's
that
all
helped
it's
me,
for.
I'm gonna say also the fact that is to sort of picture myself out of the situation. So, and then I tell you why I started doing this is because I realized a lot of the fears I had when I was a kid, it was distorted because what I was perceiving at the time was so big. It was like, wow, I'm so scared of this. I can't deal with it. That's, so I used to shut down. But then I realized some things. Now looking back at it, I'm not scared about it because I am out of the situation. I'm able to perceive myself out of the situation and be my, say, I guess the higher version of who I was as a kid. So I'm able to perceive it like that. So if you already trying to project that and see it as what would my higher self do or feel in that context or situation, what would be
Yeah.
the loving things to do for myself? That will help as well.
Yeah. That's so true. Binaural beats might help that. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Honor Enterprises. Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Binaural beats for me does help for certain things, but yeah, depending on which one you use, you can use alpha, data, you can use the gamma one. I think there's a theta one as well. And they all work for different things. So I would test that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it can get you in a state of neutrality and it can get you in a state of just being the observer. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, Elizabeth. Hiya. Yeah, I will talk about that, Aga. I really will. And it's funny because just Elizabeth just brought that up. Intentionally to address a specific frequency or state. Okay, so like we said, we do music anyway. So what I've found personally is it's not only just on a frequency level that music can change your state, but it's sound in itself. It's it's the idea of when a frequency or a sound, because before we had words, that was what we were. That's how we exchange communications, sound, frequencies. And we would do everything through that. Language was another overlay that meant that we would have more separation. So meant that you would speak something and I would speak something and we wouldn't understand each other. Before that, it was a frequency level. To say that it was all tones. So that's why when people say, oh, they used to do sound therapies and they use sound baths, or I don't know if you've heard the hand pan, or if you've heard people using the bowls or chimes, the gongs, anything like that. These are all sounds that generate vibrations in us. And those vibrations go to the water that is inside of us. Now, there's lots of studies about water and the way that water can be shaped and your will could be infused in the water through sound and vibration. That's a lot like us. We're told that our bodies are hold so much water in them. When you hear music and it feels good in your body, it's because the vibration of that music is speaking to the waters within your body. So when you listen to something like binaural beats, or when you listen to even waves or birds singing or nature itself, these are all things that activate certain frequencies in your body, vibrations in your body, and speak to the waters in your body. Hence why you can be influenced by the music that you listen to. Now, there is going to be a certain amount of alchemy that has to go into that, meaning it's not that, oh my gosh, I can't listen to one type of music because if I do, now my frequencies are off. It's just to be aware that, okay, that's what that music does. I'm good. I'm still centered. But for the most part, think about it on even a level of your voice, the voice you have. And I know a lot of people are made to believe that, oh, I don't like my voice, but your voice is attuned to your body. So when you speak loving words to yourself, or when you hum a little song to yourself, You're literally giving yourself that frequency therapy. You're literally giving yourself that sound therapy. Say, for instance, you're in the bath and you hum in the bath and you hum into the waters. That frequency goes into your cells, into your body, through you. Imagine you hummed the frequencies of love. Imagine you just lovingly hum to yourself. These are the things that change you on a cellular level. And I know we're not like taught this, but even as a kid, think about kids whistling or kids humming or kids just singing a happy tune. They are literally keeping and attuning to natural their natural innocence, their natural being, who they are, their authentic self. And that's like the power of what music and sound and vibration and frequency can do for us. So it really is a huge thing.
So I'm seeing Honor Enterprises. Yeah, your name is Elizabeth. So hi, Elizabeth. Also hi after my own heart.
Hiya.
Hi, our guru. I see you guys are here. It's really
Hi,
nice.
Guru.
Hi, nice to see you here. Yeah, so like Shem said, so basically we do sound engineering as well, so we know about frequencies and that. Yeah, there's a whole science. There's an actual a quantum science behind that as well. I think that yeah, understanding that all of this process, like when Shem says, if you sing to your water has the ability to hold information because it has memories. So when you do that and you sing love to it and all of that stuff, and if someone to take a lot of bath to relax, this is going to be highly beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a treatment I
So
actually give my
yeah.
kids or myself or Mondi. Like if we're feeling like a little bit achy or a little bit down, I'll hum to the water. I'll sing into the water and then allow them to get into that water and submerge. So it's not about pitch or tuning. It's about heart frequency. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm not really a singer. That really doesn't matter. It's the spoken word. And that's why once we understand that relation, then you'll see why the spoken word is so powerful and how it literally creates and turns things into matter with your intentions. So when you use it for music, like now Elizabeth is saying that she activated her pineal gland, and that's what these things do. That's why you saw so many chambers, especially like in Egypt or in these pyramids, and they couldn't understand why the walls were so smooth and why everything just looked so perfect. Those were literal sound baths, places where people would go, make these sounds, make these vibrations, and have it flow through their bodies. And for different reasons, for OBEs, for travel, for for a number of things. That's literally was our main and first way of communicating with one another.
Also it's music, yes. It's also work by combination as well. Sounds, texture, tones, all of the stuff. So it's really important. I mean, at the moment, we're working on playlist of we're creating playlist of binaural beats, also chill music like chill hop and stuff that can relax, put you in a relaxing state. And when I see Aga, you saying that basically some music opens your heart. Yeah, it does. It is meant for that. And depending how you pick the chords as well, the chord succession that's picked is going to influence you. It can be positively but also can be negatively, so it's been used in both ways. But all of
Yeah.
these things, I mean, the Dr. Monroe was one of the first person to bring binaural beats. So I mean, he actually called it hemisync because of the fact that you're syncing both sides of the brain, and this was actually helping to get into sleep paralysis and eventually exit your body. So these things are quite old anyways. Even CIA and different organization knows about this and uses it. So these are things that we ought to learn about, because it can really truly help. And so the frequency you play around your house is very important. That's why when you have children laughing, playing together, love, joy, the sound of it will literally be healing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Dr.
really
Joe
important.
Dispenza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deals with that as well. And I'm so happy that it's coming back to the forefront because it's so simple. But we kind of brush it off. But if you listen to your favorite songs, especially if they speak loving words, especially if they speak words of positivity, now even the music I create has changed since then. I no longer use certain frequencies even to even create the music. I'll create it already in a certain frequency that is not to the standard, because believe it or not, this knowledge has been around for so long. And then certain families who are in control of the standard of the frequency of music, that most of our stuff go by, and a majority has for the past 50 odd years, decided to change that frequency. And once that frequency was changed, it kind of dulled down all music. So even as we're hearing the songs we love, when you hear them in the frequency that we are attuned to, they feel different, even if they're feel good songs. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they change the mastering
Hi, Laura.
standards, the frequency of it. So when you hear songs on the radio,
Yeah.
they were what they say, the 440 hertz standards, but it normally it's supposed to be 432 hertz. So some people now, few but not a lot, do master the music that way, but
It's starting to be a thing
which is more pleasing for the
for your
for
ears.
your ears, for your brain. It has a more positive effect, because the 440 hertz actually activate the part of the mind in your brain that's overactive. It makes it, run too much, really trying to
Runs on loop.
run the show
Yeah.
and become overactive. So you don't realize it, but then when you go out to the shops, you hear a playlist, on the speakers. All of this will have a high influence on you.
Yeah.
So these are the thing that this information that's good to know.
And
Yes.
it's not to be wary of it, it's just aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. After my own heart.
Hi, Laura.
I've been using binaural beats to meditate for years. Recently, I haven't been able to reach deeper levels of meditation. Do you find deeper meditative states with or without sounds? Now I find them without sounds. I'm kind of the only reason I don't usually use them is because I'm not comfortable with the headset, and I love to be comfortable. I love meditating lying down on my side with a comforter on. And I know it's the perfect way to go to sleep, but that's how I find my deepest states. It's in my vessel being as comfortable as possible. So if that means that I don't have an eye patch on, or if I don't have headphones on and I just play calming music in the back, I do that. But I try to switch it up as much as possible. Also, what I've done as of late is try to use the candle method, where I look at the flame. So I like a candle and I keep the room quite dark, and I will watch the flame, the center of the flame. There's some videos on YouTube about it, and I'll watch the center of the flame for about a minute in silence, and then I'll close my eyes. And then after a minute, I'll open it back up again and I'll have another look at the flame. And then I'll do it for another minute, and then I'll blow the flame out. I'll set my intention, and then I'll get comfortable. And usually when I do it that way, I find I'm way more focused. And I think that for me personally, when I focus on something, I think it's more the object focusing on the object than some link with the flame. Maybe there is, that kind of makes all of my other thoughts kind of fall away, because then I've got something of focus to do. And then once I've done that and sat there for 3 minutes altogether doing it, once I actually lay down, get comfortable, I'm right in there for deep meditation.
Yeah, it's also because when you do certain exercises, what happen is you actually get control of your brain. So say because of the focus, and you want to focus to being able to see that flame, so that the overactive side of the mind has to quiet down. So automatically, so you actually, by doing this, picking and choosing what part of the brain you want to be active, and the one you want to dull down a little. So that's what actually is actually taking place.
Hi, Shelby.
Shelby. Yeah, yeah, it's frequencies. That's why you're actually catching us. I think it's all about synchronicity.
All right, I don't know how to say your name. I'm gonna say it. If I butcher it, I butcher it. You just correct me. It's Torniki. Torniki.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Or
Toniki,
Tornike.
Toniki, maybe.
Hi. Hiya.
Hi.
All right, I haven't had an OBE yet, but I've been trying to achieve it for 6 months now. I'm practicing every day, sometimes even on middays. I'm living in a second world country. Um, and I'm so fed up. Okay, I understand. All right. So what I would say with that is, hang on, you haven't finished. Of everything, meaningless jobs, yep, endless bills. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can empathize with that.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I understand. Um so when I heard about the possibilities of OBEs, it gave me hope in life. Yeah. Of course you are. The reason why you're so fed up is because you are. You are so much more than all of that everyday stuff. That's why any of us get fed up, because we're like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? What is this about? Um, Sometimes souls like you are there to hold the frequency of these type of things in places that are quite dense, in places that are in turmoil.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to say some things that might help you have a
that I
bit.
go to the other. Sorry,
Oh, you
Papa.
haven't finished, right?
That I go
Okay.
to the other side and I come back with a renewed perspective on even staying there, or if I decide to do so. I think that you have already decided what you want to do, and I think that the OBE may bring you confirmation. But don't forget, there's also meditation and dreams in the meantime, and they could give you just as much perspective and information. So I don't want you to get into a state where you feel like I'm trying, it's not happening, and you feel any sort of desperation or need for it.
Yeah, operating from a place of desperation for OB is going to make it harder. And I know this is just said and done.
Yeah,
However, you can think about it this way, almost as OB is your birth right. Say some things you experience every night, but you just don't realize, you don't remember.
yeah,
Your consciousness is not at a level to allow you to have a perfect recall. Yeah. So what you would do, you will see it as, oh, the universe want me to have an OB. You see, like, because it's my birthright, I'm born with it. It's an ability that I hold. We all have this ability. So start seeing it from that angle, because then what that does, it makes you operate not from a place of despair, and then you will have a lot more result, and you'll stress less about it.
yeah. So and I go through bouts of this where I'm like, I'm not having it. What's going on? I feel like, oh my gosh, I've done something.
Hmm.
I've done something, and now I can't. But then I have to realize, no, Shem, you always do, and you're not remembering. We all do. We've all been told that there are levels to this, and you have to be some sort of yogi sitting on a stone somewhere, and you have to have done so many years of deep work, and that's just not the case. You already come out of your body. The game we play here is remembering that we do every night, remembering the experiences we've had. But what I would say is sometimes we deliberately decide that our soul has already arranged that for this period of time, I won't remember the OBEs I have, because these are the things that my soul is doing, and it's going to be egregious to your everyday life's understanding. Like a lot, like if you've got certain missions that your soul is doing when you're doing an OBE, and your person here, your avatar here, wouldn't understand why you're doing it or why it's been done, or would find it traumatizing in any way or egregious, or would have a certain judgment on it, then you agree for yourself, okay, I'm not going to remember these ones. And then as you become more caring and loving and gracious with yourself in your everyday life, and less judgmental of your situation, and less harsh on yourself, you allow for a space where you can start remembering. So you have already been coming out of your body. It's now asking, you know what? Am I ready to be conscious when I do this? And if the answer is yes, then be like, I'm ready to remember my OBE states. I'm ready to remember and experience my OBE states fully. It's not like I can't, you can, you do. It's just the remembering of it. I don't want you to feel like it's something that's out of your reach. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not something you're learning. You're just remembering the tools that you need to do so that you can integrate that. Because we've been taught all this time that this is not something that is possible for us. It's the unlearning of that program and the remembering that, yeah, I've been doing this. I've been doing this. All right. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
You want to read it?
Yeah. So hi, I've been having chronic pain since January. I've been to doctor after doctors trying to figure out what is going on. No answers. I've been trying to have an OB, ask guides for some insight. And then you're saying I haven't received any answer, any suggestion. Okay. Two things. I see in when you saying you have been trying to have an OB. So there's a thing here as well. It's important to understand that whatever you're gonna do or experience when you have an OB, it is important to begin your work here and start here, even if you didn't have an OB. So you see, we have to do away with the words trying and all of these words that put you in not in the place of power. So you have to step into your power as well, in terms of you're not trying to have an OB, you're just remembering that this is one of your many abilities that you hold. So start with that perspective. Now when it comes to chronic pain, it's often my version on that, my version on what when I had chronic pains. My own version was like, okay, you know what? That must be an illusion. That must be some things that a belief that I hold somewhere, and I had to dig deep and find out why is the belief that I hold that keep on bringing this pain to me. Specifically, and I'm saying specifically, if you go to the doctors and they can't find anything, they don't know what's going on. They say, oh, I don't know, and they stop trying to prescribe you with some drugs. No, no. I mean, really, you shouldn't prescribe anybody with drugs if you don't know what they have. Anyway, standard. But I'm just saying that I had to look into that, and I had to say, okay, why am I ready to let go and release? So what you could start doing here now for yourself is going to a meditative state, remain calm, and trying to localize where the pain is, and what are you going through while that pain's happening? What's going on through your head? beside the worry of the pain in itself. And then you can begin to observe patterns. Like every time I think about this, or every time I'm around this person, or every time there may be something that's bringing this pain. And usually when we can't find physically, although my opinions, everything take place first on an energetic level anyway. But let's say you can't physically find what's going on, there's got to be something with a blockage somewhere energetically,
Yeah.
or something you haven't addressed yet because you don't know what's going on. But begin to do that. That might help.
I would say continue to ask your guides for answers, but also I do hold compassion for that, because honestly, been there. What I like to do is, the word meditation and the idea of meditation has been also one of those buzzwords that a lot of people have. It's like an elitist thing. It's like a bit like if you say you're into gardening and horticulture, and you start using these big Latin words to just say rose or something. It can be quite intimidating. It's the same with spirituality, but it's when people use certain buzzwords, it can put you off, especially when you are new to the community. So I try to get rid of those, not the word, but the energy, the charge behind it. So when I'm saying to you, meditate on it, what I'm saying is daydream. Sit down somewhere quiet and daydream. I don't know if you're able to do this, but just imagine you're having a daydream and you're seeing yourself sitting right where you are, but you're not seeing yourself from the first person. It's as if you are seeing yourself from the bird's eye view. You can pick how high you want to be, whether you're on the ceiling or whether you've taken the roof off of your house and you're just looking down, whatever. Whether you're sitting next to yourself, but see yourself from the outside, just for what you are, and sit there with it. You have now become the other aspect of you and tapped into the other aspect of you that's in control of all of the things that happen on an energetic level for you. Go to where that pain is and take your hand, knowing that you're full of energy on that side, and just daydream about putting your hand there and sending it whatever color comes to mind, whether it's blue or red or anything that gives you joy, rainbow, and just imagine it being drawn out. Whether you imagine a rope, sometimes I imagine a color that I'm coloring in there. Sometimes I imagine myself untying a knot and smoothing it out. And I just look at myself from the outside and I do it and I work on it. And I don't do it for long, 5 minutes, nothing more. I'm not in there doing surgery. Like, I'm not there for 5 hours. No one's got time for that. Just lovingly, and then lovingly leave, whether you tap it, whether you kiss it, whether you give yourself a hug from the outside, and then open your eyes and go about your day. That usually helps me ease and detach from the chronicness of the pain, the everyday of the pain, knowing that on an energetic level, I have already looked after it. So when you hear meditate about it, it's the daydream. And we're all good at daydreaming. We all did it as a kid. And it's easy to do. So daydream about it. Come outside, see yourself, tend to it. And I need you to go deep into this daydream. I need you to get all your imagination into this. Because the realer the daydream, the more energy you're putting into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once a day's fine. Once a week's fine. But do it in the power of the understanding that it's been taken care of on an energetic level. And also, Continue to ask your guides, continue to get some answers, continue to ask them. They might give it to you in a dream. Ask them specifically how you would want the answer. Say to them, I want you to show me via this, a number, an angel number, or I'm going to go somewhere today. Give me the answer for this here in this way, or whatever it is, a song. But ask for the modality that you want them to communicate with you on, because they may be trying to communicate with you, but you're missing the signs. So try that as well.
I'm seeing Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, first of all. Hobbies are what I am working on. Love your podcast. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm gonna do more true dreaming and meditations. Thank you for that. I just want to address one little thing, guys. One thing is important. We have to affirm what you are. So you're not working on anything. You're not trying anything. You are it. You're it, and the more you affirm that, it's like if you look at yourself in the mirror and repeat many times, I am beautiful, I am healthy. And you could do it 10 times, 20 times, as much as you need. And look at yourself in your eyes and believe that, feel that, because that's what you are. And ultimately, when you start doing this and understanding, you know more in the efforting, you know more in the trying, and all of that stuff, you begin to see change. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
That is why we're such in a paradigm of hard work, grinding, hustle, and all of that, because it's the part of the brain, the mind side, that's overrun and tend to get you to have to do things even when it's not an aligned action. The only time you should be doing something that is you should be doing is when you're aligned with your divine path. It's called, aligned actions. So it's important to understand that, because this is where they have us all messed up, thinking that we have to do so much when some stuff really is useless.
And it's happening anyway. Dreaming and meditation does help. And if you would like also, and you're able to dream and have lucid dreams, you can pop out of OBE. Once you realize you're dreaming, you can pop into OBEs whilst you're dreaming. It doesn't have to be something that you do through coming out your body and feeling and looking back. If you want to experience the sleep paralysis and the coming out of your body and all of that, you're free to do so.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to, and you're finding yourself just in a dream, but then you find, hang on, I'm dreaming, that's great. I can pop out of my body now. Just that, then you can go, all right, I'm popping out of my body now. See, now you're lucid, and now you're back in the driver's seat as far as your consciousness, your remembering is concerned. But you're always the driver of your bus.
Absolutely.
Always.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Gary. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, Gary.
Good morning.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Tamara.
Yeah. So I did a guided meditation once where it helped me to go to my
You're
place
welcome.
in heaven, where I am flying on the dragon, nice, and I jump off and I watch my arms as I was turning into a dragon. I was so excited. Yeah.
Listen, dragon energy is so real. Dragon energy is so real. I had a post this week about dragon energy, and it was after much time of connecting with a past life that I'd had being a dragon rider. But so many people are experiencing dragons as of late. It is it's an energy that's coming back, because it's a truth that we're all remembering. They tell you old dinosaurs and stuff like that. Dragons. Okay.
Yeah.
And don't you find it weird that there's not one culture who doesn't have dragons in their history somewhere? How comes we all have history of this same mystical creature? So yeah, a lot of the dragon energy is coming back. Red dragons are coming back, as far as a lot of people experiencing with red dragons, and white ones. Some are experiencing riding them, bonding with them, having getting wisdom from them, seeing their eyes opening. So yeah,
So I'm
it is
saying,
exciting.
Kim is saying that with all the distortion in this realm, have either of you experienced anything pure here, or is everything distorted? Well, first of all, this realm is meant to be distorted, because through distortion, then you can begin to have experience that help you remember who you truly are. However, the perception also is everything. So in my perception, there is purity in energy. Something simple as electricity is pure electricity. There's nothing bad about it, nothing good about it, nothing, because pure doesn't mean bad or good. Pure is just is
In the state that
in
it
the
was meant
state.
for.
Yeah. So yes, absolutely. And if you do look around you, um, certain process that you may experience are absolutely pure. That's why your perception is really important. The words you use is extremely important, more important than most of people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely there is purity
I
here.
wouldn't say everything's distorted. I mean, really and truly, even take this live, for instance. We can say that we're here and we're on YouTube and we're doing a live, and um, you guys are our community, and no. But we all are souls who've decided we're going to get together and have a conversation about this. Like, think about how random or not random it is.
Yeah.
That in itself is a pure connection. Like, it just is. We're just here sharing this moment. And that's um what the distortion's here for, to have you miss the pureness in just these simple moments where you're just connecting with like-minded people, or you're connecting with like-minded souls, or you're just making a cup of tea. Or that's why presence is so important,
Yeah.
so that you don't miss the pure moments here.
Yeah, because the now is pure. The now moment
Yeah.
is pure.
um
Um,
Stacy.
yeah, I see. Okay, great, lovely.
Yeah.
Great, that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daydream.
After my own heart, you're saying I have never once woken
Woken up
up
in
in
a
a
dream.
dream. Yeah, I set the intention every night. Should I be doing something in the daytime to help? No, don't do. Look, it's simple. Is, do you believe you can, or do you know you can? That's the question you have to answer for yourself.
And are you interested? A lot of the time, guys, if it doesn't excite you, it's because on a soul level, you're not really supposed to do it. I mean, your bag might be like pulling out of the body every night and seeing yourself and just levitating above and then flying away. That might be your whole excitement. And the reason why you haven't experienced it another way is because your soul's not interested. You maybe have spent lifetimes doing it, and this time you want to do it this way. And that's why it's so important to follow your highest excitement, follow your interests, follow your joys, because they really are your pure connection to your higher self. You are literally your higher self. You're just in your vessel experiencing this realm here. But for the most parts, that's who's running the show. You don't need anyone to connect with that. You're already connected. It's just the whole point of this realm is to make you believe you're not. That's the game we came here to play. Sick game, I know. But it's the game we came. Apparently, we all decided to come here and play the sick game of who can remember who the hell we are and
Yeah.
why the hell we're here.
Yeah.
And we decided to forget that we're already connected. We decided to forget all of these things. The only reason is it did get out of hand, I'm not going to lie. And there was interference. And there were a lot of nefarious actors who decided to take it to the next level outside of everybody's true consent. And now that's why we're here, trying to piece it all together and remember together the whole point that I even started doing the podcast was, as I'm remembering, I'm like, there must be other people remembering.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny you actually mentioned this. Just a little perspective. Shem just say, well, you know what? There's obviously people that use this nefariously, which can affect people, you know, as a result. Now, what's important to understand as well is this: is these guys are using the same thing we aspire to use, to do, to remember, to be able to whatever the word we use. Say, I love to have an OB. I'm trying to have an OB. It's already done by these guys. Now, not for the necessarily pure reason they have whatever their own agendas, but it's that should even let you know even how much this is your abilities, because these guys be doing it. It's nothing to see. Having the B has nothing to see with being good or bad.
Or a
It's
better person.
it is an ability that we all have.
Yeah.
That's it. So we have to begin to know that rather than believing that.
You don't have to ascend
Yeah.
to some sort of specialness of
Yeah.
kindness in your heart and open up your souls to the angels above.
This is not what it's about.
There's some badass people out here using this and been using it, been hiding it from everybody and running shit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, everybody else, we got to get with this because that's all it is.
They deliberately keep that out of the education because, you know, what would you give for them as far as the concept? What would we give that to the children, you know?
Why would you give that to kids? They'd be so powerful.
Yeah. So, but the thing is now after that, because we all have to answer to ourselves once we pass over crossovers for you to see what your conscious can deal with. You know, your consciousness can deal with, like how you're going to have to forgive yourself to whatever you've done. So that is what is important when you're here anyway, to actually be as loving as you can.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And what I would also say is, if there are things you haven't dealt with over here that you know that once you have an OBE, it's still going to come up, don't think that having the OBE is going to suddenly fix all of those things. You're still going to face it. You're going to face it because you can, and you're going to transmute it because you can. Your ability to literally take a breath in and take it out is that transmutation. You want to go on a retreat. You don't need to go on a retreat. You want to take lessons. You don't need to take lessons. These are all things you want to do because you're interested in it. But remove yourself from being in a state of, I can't, I won't, and I need. You will, you are, and you have. And once you start operating there, then all your possibilities open up, because you'll start operating from a place of your kid-like authenticity, you know?
And you made a huge point here. Shem's actually made a big point. And I'll tell you why. Because she said, you will, you have, you had already. Because it's important to understand where we are. Time is not linear. Time is an illusion, which means everything already took place. So if everything took place, then everything exists already. So that's why it's important that you literally create that existence by saying, oh, I know I'm having OB every night anyway. I desire to be a bit more conscious. Like you literally shift the way you speak, the way you perceive things.
Yeah.
Closer to the truth.
Yeah.
And that will change everything.
After my own heart, I have many channels. Do you know what? I've been hiding for a while. I'm not going to lie to you. I've always sang. I've sang since I was 3, and I pursued the career. I don't have family who are in the career. When I met Amondi, after our first date, we then discovered we both like music, and he happened to be doing music and I happened to be doing music. Then we started working together, and ever since then, that's all I've ever done. I didn't like the idea of being famous. I felt like it took too much of my energy, and every time I was given an opportunity to do so, I hid. I hid. There's no other way around it. I hid. I would turn up to the minimum amount of shows. I would do the minimum amount of press, and if the song could just play on the radio and I could collect the royalty check afterwards, because I also rewrite and produce, that's what I did. I'm not hiding anymore. So, you have asked about my music. You have asked about our music. We do it together. I have a channel called I Am Shamel, and that's where I'm putting my new stuff. If you can find my old stuff, that's a challenge. I'm not telling you where it is. It's a challenge. go and find it if you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my new stuff. I'm working with my kids now as well. They're older enough to have a whole input, and they have input. So it's a whole family affair now.
Yeah, a lot of music will be posted as well on Ko-fi, other things we do, different
Yeah.
music type of music we do,
I'll be
as well
posting it
as
for the community on
Yeah.
on Ko-fi.
Yeah.
I'll put the Ko-fi link there.
Hi, Blessed.
Hi, Bless.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Firstly, big thanks to you publicly. You're one of our first members on Ko-fi. It's lovely to
Yep.
have you, and please let us know what stuff do you want on there as well. It's like a collaborative thing, so it's like, oh, could you put more of this on there? Could you share more of this? Like I said, we're going to be having Corey on. We love Corey. Corey and us go
way
back.
Yeah.
We go way back. So we will be having, like, we have raw conversations about all of this stuff, and we film it, and then we were like, oh, why don't we just record it and then we can share it? And I was like, I don't know about that. It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah, and bear in mind, it's like, oh, hi, we need to chat about something. Yeah, cool. And we're here thinking it's just a talk, and we're here recording the thing. So, finally, I think we'll press record. Yeah, we're already an hour in, but
it's the director in Corey. Like, he's so good at that stuff. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna press, and then we're gonna just see. Like, it's the creator in him. So yeah, we'll be sharing that on Ko-fi if you're interested in that as well.
I would say something, guys. I would say, you know what? It's important we change our lives here as well.
Yeah.
So yes, having these experiences are really important. They can be life changing, but so the way we act here as well.
Hey, Jay. Hey, hi everyone.
Hey, Jay.
It's so loving to see all of you lot here, and when you come back as well, I feel like reconnecting with, like, Soul Family. I've asked for this,
and I love
I really have. Months ago, I was like, I would like a place where we can all meet up and chat about where we are on our journey, because this awakening thing is not. It's not woohoo. It's not out there. It's a happening. It's orchestrated by us, for us.
Yeah.
This is really happening, guys. So if you have these experiences and you're like, I don't think that happened. It happened.
Yeah.
You saw a unicorn. It's real.
Yeah. And you know what I like as well, to see, you guys communicate with one another as well in the chat. Like, I mean, if you've got an answer for someone that asks a question, please do provide the answer.
Yeah, we did drop another video as well today. Yeah, it's out. That's an experience we both had together. We've had a few of them, but that was the first one we had. We had one last night, which was like, but we asked, remember, before I went to bed, I said, can we just do something together, because we were busy today? Can we just?
Yeah, we did.
And we did. It was lovely. All right, great.
So Laura is saying, so doing the shadow work for these avatar characters is important for us to level up our frequency. Yeah. Also, the word you use, shadow work, implies certain things. So you gotta also look at what word you choose and what they mean to you. So, for instance, if for you shadow means gray, maybe like warm ambience and stuff like that, then yes, you would use it because you mean that. But if you mean dark and malevolent, maybe it's important to kind of use certain word differently. Now, I'm not saying to obviously change every words, because
You don't
sometimes,
have to come in with the
yeah.
grand
So it's not,
rising.
yeah, but
You can still say
I
good morning.
personally, like, exactly, I dropped the word dark night of the soul, because the first time I've heard it, I was like, I don't know, there's something about this doesn't resonate with me. Yeah, but as far as doing for, yeah, your avatar, what it is it benefit everyone. Every time someone's is more loving in their life, and doesn't have to be physically speaking, meaning that I'm more loving to that person, and as a result that person had a great day. Yes, it works like that, but it doesn't just work like this. We're all connected. So on the global consciousness, it does affect the way we feel about ourselves. So every time someone is more loving to
Oh,
themselves, it has an impact, a
thank you,
huge
Natalie.
impact.
Welcome. It does. And this is the thing. A reason why we're probably all here together is because we're sharing the same frequency. That alone, between where we all are, imagine we are a big net. So we are securing a grid. As we make these exchanges and talk to one another and speak about these things in the way we are not only communicating with each other, but we are reinforcing a wider grid. So if you imagine where all of us are pinpointed together, sharing this information, we're literally forming a grid of energy that is a container for this type of frequency. So everybody else who is experiencing these things or want to or feel like something's happening have an opportunity for that frequency to be around them now. If you see what I'm saying, I hope I've explained that well. But sometimes that's why you're where you are. So if ever you feel like I'm stuck in this country, or I'm here, or and I felt that way, or why am I in this place? I can't seem to move on yet. It's sometimes because you're securing the grid there. You're literally holding space for that location there for that time, so that when you reach out to certain other souls that you are in contact with, you widen the grid of this type of knowledge. You widen the grid of this type of knowing in people, in other people. Because there's going to be people who've decided that their soul won't ever remember this time.
Yeah.
That's it. They'll only remember once the construct is finished and we all just pop off to the other side. And there's others who are like, no, I'm going to remember at the last minute. And then there's people like us who's like, I'm beginning to remember. Things are coming back to me. And all of a sudden I want to do Reiki, or all of a sudden I want to have a life regression, or all of a sudden I've been having these type of dreams.
And we all connected. And you know how you know this thing as well. I don't know if you, I'm sure you've experienced that. Sometime during the day, you may have a feeling. It could be sadness, it could be extreme happiness, it could be any of these. And you're like, what? When it's sadness, say, I'm pretty happy today. So why am I feeling this all of a sudden? What's that feeling is coming over me? That's because it's in need of transmuting. Someone out there need to transmute that. That is why, if and ideally, we're all really happy and joyful. So the higher your frequency, the higher it allows people, because we are emitters. We transmit as well. We transmit and we receive things, information, data, but we also put it out there as much as we can receive it. So when that happens, you allow someone else to be able to at least have the help to transmit whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
And when we're not busy doing that during a mission, during dream time, then during the day is where you can do keep on doing your work.
Yeah.
Carry on doing that work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do understand what you mean by shadow work. And even though Omondi didn't use Dark Night of the Soul, I sure as hell used it. I was like, oh, no, I'm in a deep Dark Night of the Soul.
If you say so, then.
And he was like, if you say so. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm homeless and pregnant. I'm deep in it. Okay. Don't try and take this away from me. You can imagine out of my body, I am literally this dramatic, and that's fine. I love it. So yeah, I did the shadow work. I did all of it. And I realized that, like Peter Pan. And that's the thing. I watch these things with my kids and I'm like, I get it now. When he lost his shadow and he wanted his shadow back, it's still going to be a part of you. It's not about working it out to the point where it doesn't exist. It's always going to exist, because where there's light, it casts shadows. As you become more light in your day, you're going to get shadows. You've got sunshine and you've got the shade. That's okay. But sometimes it's all right to sit in the shade.
Yeah, but it's fine. But that, like you just demonstrated, it's perspective. The perception is important. So when you use certain words, how you perceive it will change everything, because it doesn't mean to ignore it. It's the perception. So when you use it, your perception is adequate to what you attempt to do.
Yeah. And also I am compassionate enough with myself to allow myself to at least have a minimal time of self-pity. Sometimes I want to cry about it, and I cry about it. Sometimes I want to be like, woe is me about it. I take out a whole violin, cello sometimes, and I get into it.
Yeah. But you
Not literally, but you get what I'm saying.
But you're really aware, isn't it?
I'm aware,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, excuse me, I'm having a pity party right now. Can you just
just have it out?
Just let me do this. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay as well.
Yeah.
Because there's no point denying yourself of it and then taking it out in other ways. If that's the way that you can most to transmute it for the moment, then do that. Just don't stay in it.
Yeah.
We were never meant to stay in anything. We experience things, they pass, we observe them, and we're like, oh, that was interesting. And then we move on. But sometimes you want to dabble, and sometimes you get caught up and you make these soul contracts and you make these agreements, and then before you know it, you're bound up, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, it's really
Thank
important.
you, after my own heart. I am going to be putting myself out there more, because there's a whole load of stuff I do. I don't know if you were here last week. I do intuitive reading as well. I come from a Baptist family. I'm talking church on Wednesdays. Deep church on Wednesdays.
I thought Sunday was bad enough.
What are you doing this Saturday? Do you want to go to Thorpe Park? And it's like, yeah, with the church. Okay, it was one of those. Like, even my Saturdays were taken up by church. So I have been programmed to have a judgment about doing tarot or being an intuitive reader or doing things like that. But then I realized, you know what? How do I feel about it? And I'm like, I love it. It's fun to me. It's fun when I already know what cards are going to come out. I don't even need the cards. I just like them. I like it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I had to put that to bed. And these are the shadow works that, like Laura was talking about. Like, what parts of yourself are you denying because you've been told to deny them, and you hold judgment about them when you don't have to. You really just don't. Like, why? There's someone out there is going to love you exactly the way you are. And you'll find out that it's the frequency of that acceptance that brings more love into your life. So in the spirit of that, I will be putting myself out there more.
So I see Blessed you saying, yeah, I've been keeping that in my consciousness for a couple of years now. I will find my tribe. I will reconnect with those like me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? When your life is designed in a way that even with your family, it's just not, few member of the family, you're like, okay, we're cool. But, majority, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. That happened to me. So yeah, I see what you're saying. So,
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And that's wonderful, because I've done the contrast. Like, I get on with my kids. When the pandemic hit, outside of the fact that everybody was doom and gloom and saying that everyone's going to die, I was excited because I was like, I get to be with the kids. They're so much fun. We were wrestling. We were, games on games. We would dancing, we'd have dance competitions, we'd build Lego forts, we would do blanket forts, we would do cooking, we'd cook things that we hadn't cooked before. It just everything like that. Like
Yeah.
but then that's such a stark that's just not what I grew up with. You know, I had that with my some cousins, but that's not what I grew up with in my household. Like, so yeah, it's like it's and now I'm older and I'm finding my tribe. I'm like, yeah, I know it. I know it when I see it because I've experienced both sides.
So
Yeah.
I see. I got you saying I was often frustrated by my lack of progress and realized I had limiting ideas about me. So I wrote a new story about myself as a powerful world creating
Mage.
mage
Yep.
who was currently overcoming amnesia.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
Yep.
Uh,
And isn't the unfolding of all of this so dope? Like, even when we like think about it. So I really was like, I don't know if I wanted to do a membership. I don't know if I can show people that I can do readings. I don't know. And the first person to become a member was named Blessed. Like, you can't make that up. Like, the synchronicity of it all is why we decided to forget, so that when it unfolds, we're like, wow, you wouldn't guess what happened to me yesterday. This happened and that happened and this happened. And once you get into that flow, once that flow state is, you allow that flow state to happen, you trust that, it just gets better and better and better and better in your life. It
yeah,
really does. You
100%.
just have to be in a state of allowing it to, because it's
Absolutely.
there already. Could you imagine? You're like, dream life is there already. But then we've just stood by the river and been like, I'm not getting in because I heard that there's germs in there. And we believed it. And we just decided to just not jump into the stream.
Hi, Gretel. Hope I'm saying your name right.
Yeah.
Thanks for this discussion. I woke from the dream exhausted. I was working on a project in a dream state, but do not remember I was exhausted for the entire day. How do I remember and recover? Oh, you know what? This happened to me like these past weeks constantly. I like, wow, I was doing something important. And sometimes we share and I say, shit, I was doing something important. We were doing something important. And it's a weird things because I remember I was what I was doing, but I don't remember.
The
So
details.
the detail. So what I'm saying is my conclusion was this. The only reason you don't remember is because certain concept and information cannot be retained physically by the brain. So it gets instead it gets integrated. So you've integrated it, but you're not meant necessarily to remember because you the capability of your brain can do it. That's why you hear often some people having an OBE and say, I saw colors or an ND I cannot explain. The concept doesn't exist here. It's not possible to retranslate everything. So instead of giving yourself a hard time, what you do, you know you remember, but not on the physicality brain level. I don't know how to explain it to you exactly with the exact words because I don't have the exact word for it, but I know I've integrated it rather
Yeah.
than to say, and that is memory. Memory is not just what you remember from your brain. If you think about it, even the design that we have our body, your skin have memory, cells have a memory,
Muscles.
muscle memories. You don't necessarily remember the information muscle just took in. Here you don't remember it. You don't have a memory per se, but there's a remembrance. So remembrance, the concept of it has to shift and change in order to start understanding
Let's
what's taking
hear
place.
and more your whole vessel.
Yeah.
And you said you're exhausted, but even the energy that you said this, I know you were doing something important, and I know you were doing something that was exciting.
Yeah. And that's a memory in itself. The exhaustion you feel is a memory. It's a
Yeah.
recall. It's a
Yeah.
recall of what took place.
I try and drink salt water, and I know it's like, huh? But I have Celtic salt. I put it in water and I drink it. And I'll probably have 2 glasses for the day, and usually I find that if it hydrates me enough to be able to have a little bit more recall for some of the dreams I have. And outside of that, I accept that whatever I don't remember now, I've integrated on some level, and it will come back to me when it's supposed to. So, yeah, that's what I do that helps. Also affirming that you have full recall as well. Before you go to sleep. But if you've noticed you knew enough to know you were doing something and you were working on a project, no doubt you haven't finished and you will be returning.
So, Kim, I see what you're saying. So, other than a handful of experiences, I have been attempting to remember who I am for over 30 years with little success. Since my soul choose to not remember yet, could I be missing a message to myself?
Do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll say. Do you know what it is? First thing you check with yourself, it's if you hold a belief where you're trying and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that, rather than if you're in the knowing, because that can make a world of difference. So if you're in the knowing, then all of a sudden your experience, even in dream state, will change. Because I know I'm in charge. I know I'm in control. I know that I can will anything I want. I am not a prisoner. So I'm know of that. I have the knowledge. So having that knowledge. So check where you're coming from when it comes to that first. Then you can see if your soul is like, nah, not now. So maybe there's other aspect of you that needs to be seen in terms of what you might want to remember. Yeah.
Also, the things that we are drawn to do in life, or the things that we happen to do in life, are sometimes a hint of what it is that we are going to do, or that our soul's blueprint wants us to remember. For instance, I used to be a brownie. I didn't want to be a brownie. My mum wanted me to be a brownie. I wasn't happy. The whole time I thought it was like, whatever. However, listen, and she bought me one uniform. This is a side note, nothing to do with spirituality. She bought me one uniform at the beginning that was 2 sizes big for me. And she said, "This is your uniform." That's the only uniform I got until I became a girl guide. I can't tell you the Michael Jackson level of hitched up those trousers were. I had to try and make sense of it, everybody. I was so upset. So, needless to say, I hated brownies. However, fast forward now, I love nature. How did I find out I loved nature? Through going to brownies. There's some stuff that we don't want to do and we don't do, but we find ourselves doing that on a soul level was an experience that we needed to do for our own remembrance. I know so much about nature, not because of brownies, but despite brownies. I know so much about map reading. It allowed me to know what I already knew. So some stuff you know and you do, you don't have to particularly be interested in it, but you realize, why is this? I'm not interested because I already know this. And that in itself is a remembrance. You know, it's like, I've been known this. Why am I here? Yeah, that's memory number one. Your soul already knows that then. You've already been there. You already know that. What things do you feel that way about? Because once you see it like that, you'll be like, well, I already have the answers I need about this, and this. That is a remembrance. Your soul already knows those things. It's just saying, do you remember we know this? That's why we're not interested in it. Yeah. I Guru, can we become gods again in this realm without physically dying? All our abilities come back exactly that. Come back exactly like the other side in OBE.
Well, that's the big conversation.
That is the huge conversation we had with Corey.
So,
and what that's going to look like. I think it starts with moments like this. I think it starts with remembering, and I think it starts with, when I say raising the consciousness, it's, I don't want it to be confused with all of us start becoming monks. I want it to be known and felt that all of us start creating our own heavens on earth. It's all going to look different for everybody. Not everybody wants the $1 million house and a Lamborghini. For some people, heaven is living in a ski lodge and skiing all day. For some people, it's no, I want to live deep in the jungle, or I want to live by the sea, or there'll be enough for everybody to do everything they want to do. We've been kind of lied to about the fact that we've got resources that are going to run out. So we all have to decide, we need to put people in charge to decide who's going to get what, and we have to ration. No two people want the same thing. So there will be, and there is enough for everybody to step into whatever it is they fully need in their full authenticity. And once everybody does that, we'll literally be able to create our own version of heaven here.
Yeah, I think also I've, my interpretation of this was the fact that right now we love us saying, well, you know what, when I cross over, once I cross over, I'm never coming back, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's also because you're wearing the lens of distortion. So you're seeing this place as being not so welcoming and very difficult and stuff like that. But had it been like the other side, you wouldn't want to live, because you will just be in full capability of experiencing what which you want to experience now. So sort of like heaven on earth, like what Shem was saying. So what I'm saying is that I think that when we begin to do this, a lot of things will unearth. Like I think everything is already here, but it's like now a lot of people are coming online with the fact they say, well, I know telekinesis. I can move stuff with my mind. Before, if you said that 20 years ago, people would have said, oh, come on, like, come off of it, man. Stop talking about that rubbish. Yeah, you're watching too much movies. That's what people would say. Now we're realizing perhaps what's in the movies actually exists, is where the inspiration come from. It's been channeled by people, etc. And that's what we're seeing in the movie, and it's being put under the label of sci-fi. So people are like, no,
it's fiction.
It's fiction, that can't be real. So we have done that. However, we know a few things. We know one thing. We know that thought shapes your reality. Thought feeling shapes your reality. That we know that. We know that consciousness dictates the universe, not the other way around. So what we believe actually take place. However, if now we begin to know something different, being a knowing, all the abilities, all that exists, all that is, then your reality will change before your eyes. Bodies, the body we have will no more be subjected to the same fate. It will become capable of living longer, like what it used to.
Yeah.
And you will start seeing that reality changing, which means immortality could potentially then take place.
Yeah.
All of these aspects can become. And if you begin now to take away the lens of distortions, to not wear it so much so often, and open your heart, you will begin to see these things a bit clearer. So when you say the end of the construct, the possibility of, no separation between the realms, yes. And my interpretation is yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. That's where I think we're going. And if I'm honest, that's why I was like, this is what I'm here for this time.
Yeah.
But I know that I have to anchor it in for myself.
And a little, exactly. And a little precisions as well about once you down here, you will just cross over. You won't be, because death is an illusion. So you would just pass over.
Yeah.
That's it, you cross over. Yeah. That is it. It would be that simple. Like if you walk into a shop, it will become like that. Not all that suffering. Specifically if you have the ability to live longer.
Yeah. And I say that saying that to not, it's not an well, it was an out of body experience, but it happened through nearly killing myself, not deliberately, people, not deliberately. No judgment if you tried. Listen, we've all been there, I guess. But it was between me and a moth. Okay, I'm setting the scene. You can laugh about it if you want. I've laughed since. It's not too soon. Okay. It was late at night, and I was supposed to be heading to bed, and I saw this big moth. Like, it was massive, And I was like, I just did the laundry, and I was like, you see how much holes I have in my jumpers? I'm not playing with you tonight. You're going to need to leave. And she was like, looking at me like, when you're asleep, I'm going to munch through all of your best stuff. Okay. Your cotton is mine. So I was like, I'm going to get some water, and I'm just going to spray it on you so that your wings get heavy, you fall down. I'm going to throw you outside. So I'm spraying, and she's not coming. And we had at the time high ceilings. So I'm spraying up as much as I can, not thinking about the water that's beneath me. And she wouldn't move. So I decide, like a genius, to jump up and smack her a bit. But then as I'm landing, I'm realizing, hang on a minute, I just sprayed a ton of water on this floor. I'm going to slip now. And I thought, okay, this is how it ends. And I slipped, I fell back, and I cracked the back of my head. I knew immediately I was gonna, like, this is it. That's how I go. I go by moth. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And I went into the void immediately. I didn't feel my body lifting out. I didn't feel any pain. I was waiting for the pain to hit. It didn't hit. I was just not there anymore. I was in the where people call the void, the black space. It was fine. I was fine. I was okay. Everyone else, though, they were panicking. I could hear everybody. I could see myself. I could see everybody else around me. I could see my daughter's room. She got up immediately. She jumped out of bed. She was standing over me or kneeling over me. You came out. She called. Like, it was the whole thing. I saw you lift me up. I saw you put me on the bed. I saw you trying to wake me up and decide, are we going to call ambulance? What are we doing here? She's limp. What are we doing? And I thought, I don't think it's convenient right now for me to die. I don't want to say, what am I going to do on in my memorial? Like, oh, she died via moth. No, this is not how the story ends. I was like, I'm not doing this. I want to go back. And then after about 5 minutes or so, I came back around, and I was laughing my head off. And they were like furious at me, to say the least. And that was death. And I had another thing with a car accident as well, where I popped out just before I felt any pain or anything. I didn't feel anything, folks. Like, these NDE people aren't wrong. Like, I was all right. So this whole death thing and the end of the this and that, it don't matter how it's going to come to us. It's not going to be the way we were told it is.
Also, I'm going to point out one thing, Igor. Think about it this way as well. Just the fact that you mention it, you're creating the existence of that. So say if you say, well, this is what's going to happen. We're all going to be back to our original state. And we won't die. That's just the way it is. That's literally creating a timeline of that, a reality of that. So a lot of these things, is the mere fact that she's saying it is because it already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you got the chance to go to Lisa M. Harrison yet. She speaks a lot about the construct and the ending of the construct, the inversion of the construct, and also the timeline that we all experienced around 2012 and all of that stuff. Like, when the world was supposed to come to an end. What she explains is that it did, but so many of us were just not ready. Our souls, our psyche, through the experience of separation, had fractalized too much for us to come back and be like, we're done with it. Let's just all go back home. Some of us were like, no, it don't end like that for me. So collectively, we decided we're going to continue on and we're going back. So January 1st,
Mhm.
2013, we all woke up and we're like, okay, let's do January. But apparently it all dissipated anyway. And that's my point. I don't remember that. I didn't feel any pain. I don't remember. I remember people being full of fuckery in 2009. I remember all that. I remember thinking, am I in the twilight zone? Are people not seeing things for what they are? I mean, we've just been absolutely robbed by the banking system. Are we still doing this? I remember feeling those things. I remember feeling stifled. I remember feeling interference in, especially in our relationship. Um, I remember feeling like I was on a loop. I don't know if any of you went through that at that time. Um, I remember all those feelings, and I remember thinking to myself when they decided to talk about 2012, like, no, I'm not going anywhere at 2012. I'm not done. Apparently, that was a collective thought. And that birthed a whole new timeline for us now where we said, okay, we are going to close out the construct, but this is the way we want to do it. And I think on a soul level, all of us have decided, no, we're going to come here. We're all going to live our best lives. We're going to integrate what we want to, and we're going to put heaven here on earth.
Yeah, and I think there was problem for recording as well. I think through that distortion's gone so far that too many of us have created so many alternate timeline. And not the best one. They were not done. They were not created out of love. It wasn't something. Yeah, most of us are so worried, so under stress that fear-based timelines. So and all of these have to be reintegrated. So you can't say you're gonna, in order to not shatter the souls. You can't just end everything because something needs to come to resolve. You have to reintegrate all of this timeline back to you. So that's also a reason why people were like, souls were like, no, like we're not doing this. It's
Yeah.
not, absolutely not.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
that resonates for you guys, but really check out her work if you're interested in the construct or deconstructing the construct, as she calls it. And yeah, that rang true for me. And yeah, I feel you blessed. Like we were also, listen, being in rural places as well. This is an extra layer of vastness, I would say. But we literally were living in a place called that was on the map that was called the World's End. Imagine you're looking on the map and you're like, hang on a minute, where's that next to us? The World's End.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it up. But we were there for a while and I was like, I guess we're supposed to be here. Just securing the grid.
Yeah. Nothing is a mistake, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi. So when you're on the other side, can you create your own soulmate using your thought forms? Like create a partner using your own soul.
Okay, you know what? Synchronicity. We have put together on our platform on Ko-Fi 4 workshops, and we built them based on all of the things that you guys have been talking about the most. One of them is about divine partnership and understanding that whole thing there. Divine partnership, original pairs, soulmates, twin flames, soul agreements, and soul contracts and false agreements. Yeah. We do have the 4 mastery classes, and the whole point of it is you have the class. We're not making them big because we want to be able to chat to you guys and so that everybody integrates it and moves on. There's no back and forth about this. You get the information, you integrate it, you do what you need to do, you take the tools, and then you keep it moving, you improve your life. This is not the time for looping anymore. This is the time for elevating and making your life better and living the life that you came here to do, being the person you came here to be. And as far as your partner's concerned, if you feel like your divine partner is out there already or is in your imagination and you are putting them into thought form, it's a remembering that they are already there. So the whole idea that you have that you would have to put them into thought form is not the idea. It's the connection between remembering that they're already out there.
Remember, it already exists. It
So they
already.
all, what I would say to you is they're already out there, and this is just the beginning bit of you remembering. Now you're playing the game of I'm going to create them, and then they'll exist, and then I'll meet them. But it's, if you reverse engineer it, they already exist. Um you've already experienced them, and now you're imagining inventing them, but you're only inventing them from a blueprint you've already experienced. That's why you are able to have the idea of them, because that idea of them already exists.
Yeah, and
if that makes sense to you. I'm trying to be clear and not tie everyone up in loops, but that's the quantum jump that you should take with that.
so and that comes back to what Shem just talked about before, about Lisa M. Harrison talking about the construct and certain things that took place, because certain things that took place were to take people away from the divine partnership.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to also just be romantic. It's just certain people that were meant to meet never happened. And certain souls they had to co-create with, and a lot of the stuff. So now obviously, the construct is ending. There's all different things that's happening, so people start meeting people they were supposed to meet. They're seeing maybe certain aspect of their life moving forward now, and all of that stuff. So yeah.
But when you are on the other side, you may have already met them, and now you're remembering as well. So I now remember how I know Amondi from the other side. I didn't remember that when I first met him. I just knew that somehow I know you.
Yeah, and like I said to I grew again, the fact that you mention it, this is how powerful we are, and this is how it's been hidden from us. How powerful you are. You say some things. You have so much will. You sort of have so much will. It is what you say it is. Period. Now, that's what to remember.
Yeah.
The fact that sometimes you're thinking about some things like, oh, that'd be nice. Oh, that'd be great, actually. That's because it's there already.
So Brandon, your soul partner, your divine partner, your soulmate, already exists on the other side.
So vibrate to the frequency of that.
Because you remember them on some level. So you probably already met them, but now you can play the game of meeting them for the first time, which is a wonderful game to play as well.
Yeah.
Because when you know.
Blessed, still very, very ready to not be here anymore. Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
I feel you.
Yeah. There's a moment like this.
There's moments
I want to go already. What? Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And then I see a meme or something like the blue shirt guy, and I'm like, you know what? I could do another couple of years. I'm very simple soul. Like, I'll be here for a couple more laughs. Like, I'll be all right.
I like your sense of humor. I wonder who that first member was. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Guess we'll never know.
So that's my thing as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. They're mastery classes. We'll be having them available. They're small groups. Let me go through what they're actually about. One of them is about abundance. I'm gonna pull it up and do it, because look, my memory shot. Listen, I've only got so much in the hard drive, and that's another thing. I always say my memory shot. It's not.
No, it's not. It's what? Yeah, unless you believe to be so, isn't it?
Yeah, my kids are always correcting me for that. They're like, "No, it's not." And yeah, so I said, "Go, all right." If you can answer another question while I pull this up.
All right. So Jay is saying, I have an odd question for you too. How do I make myself less radiant? Apparently, my frequency, presence, aura seems to garner more attention than most. I always had to be extra careful with my words. Okay.
Don't turn yourself down, Jay.
Look,
you're shining light, Jay.
You are who you are, and the thing is, don't succumb to the fear of judgment, to any of that. You're not meant to be fearful about who you are. and lesser than who you are. As long as everything you say, every action you take, it's from a place of love, unconditional love, then that's all you need to really look at.
That is it.
You ask yourself, I have been loving here.
Have
That
I been loving here?
that's all you have to do. And then if the answer is yes, maybe I could have been a bit more loving. I knew by doing this that person will feel uncomfortable. Perhaps that if you knew, maybe there's another way you could have gone about it. You see, as long as it's loving to you and to others. Because it's not just one person. You can't just be loving to people and you're absolutely not
Horrible to yourself.
horrible to yourself. No, that's not. So yeah. So that's what I would
And
say.
you're supposed to garner the attention that you're garnering. It doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why. Because some people just being in your presence are going to be like, oh gosh, I know that I'm like that, but I wish I had the confidence to be like that. And you just standing in it is going to be like that ticket for them to be like, you know what? I saw this guy today, and that's it. That's it now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live it. You don't know whose frequency you're changing by holding your own. It's not going to be the person who tells you all the time, or the person you even know who's you're going to impact the most. Sometimes it's going to just be someone who saw you from afar and was like, yep, that is it. You're activating people. It is what it is. That's the importance of being so much authentically yourself. Yeah, Kim, brownies was rough out here. Brownies was rough. And it was the 90s at the time. So, they weren't out here trying to style and profile you in any way. You weren't out here doing anything magical. They hadn't dusted off any of the toys from the 1950s. Everything was old and dusty. Listen. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, it was rough. It was always rough. Yeah. So another thing. So let me go through this. Like, I keep on losing myself. All right, there we go. Back again. One of the mastery classes is going to be just based on alchemy and abundance. I know it's a thing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, guys, we can all just eat, thin air and, whatever. We need right now to know that that's not what this realm is about. This realm still uses currencies, and this realm still uses systems that we need to be able to have an income or whatever it may be. But understanding the alchemy of abundance will allow you to be open to all of those things, not just monetarily, the abundance of a loving relationship, the abundance of monetarily, prosperity, your relationships that you have in your life, your relationship you have with yourself, your connection to yourself, being abundant in those experiences. So that's what that mastery class is about. We have one about divine partnerships. I've been asked a lot about divine partnerships, soul contracts. So we have one about that, explaining what they are, how they were made on the other side, how you were designed to do this as a 2-player game. This game is for 2 players. The setup here is where we believe we're supposed to be alone in some way. Even if some of us have not got what we call a physical partner here, a lot of the times your divine partner is sometimes on the other side trying to connect with you, because that was the setup. You decided, okay, you stay here this time. I'm going to be there. We're going to pattern this game.
And divine partnership does not mean romantic necessarily. It can be, but
it can be.
It
doesn't have to be. Then the idea of the inversion of the soulmate and the twin flame idea, because it is part of the distortion that they did when they inverted this construct. And then the understanding of what the original pair is, and how you came to be, and how those two souls come to be. And if there is a cross between you having a divine partnership and being an original pair with one another. All of these things, the way that those can play out, and the way that the construct has, fortunately and unfortunately, challenged some of those relationships. If you always feel like it's me and you against the world, babe, it's by design. Like, this has been something that's been orchestrated to try to get people off of their soul path, so that you, through your fears, through your suffering, through your struggles, can create timelines that benefit other people.
Yeah. And some set timelines. The issue is because you have fears, you hold guilt, you hold all of these emotions, you can't transmute it. You cannot reintegrate them. It
Because
prevents you from doing that. You have
it
judgments
makes you
and
can, but it's harder for you because you're holding judgment
yeah,
against yourself.
yeah,
So it takes longer than it has to.
let's say you can't integrate the many that you've created. You create so much more that you can possibly reintegrate.
Or that we were ever supposed to.
Yeah, we were not
We were
supposed to
not supposed to create that
any.
many.
That's how much in alignment we were supposed to remain.
The third one is about dreams and signs, how to interpret your dreams, how to interpret your signs, how to connect with your guides, and how to make it so that this is an ongoing communication that you have through your dream space, through your OBE state, and through your downloads, your visions, your meditations, how to discern what is what and what did it mean, and what and how is it going to help you. Because all of these things that we do, all these abilities we have, are for our benefit. They're not to benefit, like, they're literally the tools that we have to navigate this world and create the way we need to create. You're supposed to be able to get insight about your day, or the plans that you have, or the inspirations you might want to put into action. We're supposed to get that type of insight. We're supposed to have access to it all the time. So we have this knowing, and we can move through life easily, smoothly, lovingly, to ourselves, to everyone else, in harmony. And then the last one is about inner child recollection. It's something I've done, I've used, I've been using it for years. And all of these things, guys, are things that I know that once you have it, it's in the dome, it's locked, you go. Use the tool and better your life. If even just everyone in the chat can just better their lives to the point of, okay, I want to be here, I enjoy being here, then that's that. Like, I'm good with that. That's what these mastery lessons are about for me. Giving everyone the tools to do it, and lock in and clutch up and get it done, and get rid of all of this stuff. Because I'm telling you, all this stuff we're talking about and uncovering is not new to a lot of the fraction of people, small fraction of people, who have been ruling everybody and getting them to do the things and create the systems and the reality that supports them and not everybody else. They've been doing this. OBEs, manifestation, all of this abundance, it's not by mistake, it's by design.
Remote viewing, astral projection, all of this stuff has been used.
Yeah. So
it's
that's that. Yeah, I've been feeling bizarre. So, you want to read that one?
No, go ahead.
Go for it, babe.
Okay, yeah. I have had this bizarre feeling since very early in my life that I don't die this time in a traditional sense. It was very confusing most of my life. LOL. Was the idea part you and Corey's talk? Yes, it was. Do you know what? It's funny because look, our guru came up with like same things. We gave an I don't know if you heard, bless the, well, you can always watch the replay, but the explanation we gave, like, briefly. So basically, yeah, and that's called intuition. That's called discernment. There is this the two, intuition, discernment, and your imagination are tools that always been underrated, and you always been told that it's just useless. It's it's not something you should pay much attention to.
It's childish.
Yeah, it's childish, etc. But it is one of the most powerful tools.
Yeah. It's like
Yes.
ripping out your GPS. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Put it back online.
I agree with
Get it
say,
back in.
yeah, we won't die.
Like, so many people feel that way secretly, and they won't say it, because
Yeah.
guess what? You say that shit around the wrong people are gonna be like, you're a flipping kook out here.
Yeah.
But
the truth is,
these are the conversations we have.
Death, exactly. Death is an illusion. What you can experience, it's pain, and the reason why you can experience pain prior to death is because of a set of belief you held all the way to your death, which led you maybe to have an illness, and that led to your death. So the experience was the illness, where people, you hear the suffering, they get backed up with drugs so they can pass over, crossover, etc. However, when people have a sudden death, that is more like a sort of like a car accident, stuff like that, you hear these stories specifically from the people who had an ND. They get projected out of their body, so the suffering didn't even take place. Only when it came back in their body, they suffered, obviously, because the body was damaged and so on. So yeah.
And yeah, us and Corey were talking about that, because it's a way we came in feeling, and I think a lot more people felt that way or feel this way, and just not saying. But for us even putting it out there, it will start becoming a reality for a lot of us. I mean, I don't know about you, but 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, and 80-year-olds don't be looking the same as when I was a kid.
Right.
They're out here now.
And you know what? Consciousness dictate the universe. The reality we experience has a lot to see with what we believe, the thoughts we have on the day-to-day basis. So basically, if we begin to change this as a collective, reality will start changing. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, for real, blessed.
Shame.
I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not having a headstone anyway. I told my kids, don't bother with all of that. Just take the ashes and fling it somewhere nice, or not. I'm gone. But no, I'm not doing death by moth. I said no. No, that's not how this goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my family were pissed though. Yeah, my kid was yeah. She was like, no. Needless to say, I leave moths alone now. I call them night butterflies. This is how I learned from you, because in French they're called papillon de nuit, which means night butterfly. And I was like, oh, so you're not some wretched cloth-eating monster that flies around at night. You're a night butterfly. Okay. And that's my new perspective on it. Yeah. Hey, yay, Shelby, welcome.
Yeah.
And as I said, this is let us know what you want to for me to share. I've got a message I've been getting lots of messages and downloads from my higher self, and I share them on the community. I've got one to show today anyway. I'll stop being so talking. Oh, don't.
So you know what?
Bless, you're good.
D-Fish, you're actually talking about the same thing. Yes, Lisa M. Harrison, great stuff out there. Like, it's worth
Honestly
to go and watch.
I also did one of her classes as well, and needless to say, like I said, it's also part of me even stepping forward and saying that I'm going to do this. I know this stuff. Like, why am I not being more open about it? Why am I not sharing this? Why am I not doing this? She helped me step into a lot of those type of things. It's one of the guests we'd really love to have on the podcast as well. But yeah, it was A+ stuff, honestly.
So
D-Fish, hiya.
Yes, it's talking about Lisa as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've watched lots of Lisa M. Harrison stuff on your advice. Very interesting. Yeah, it is, because of how much distortion we've been under, because of how much we've been lied to. We've created this whole entire world based on someone else's will and their imagination and what they want. And we keep on reinforcing it by living the way that we do.
And their fears as well,
And their
because it's
fears.
important to understand even the powers that be, they're scared. They have fears. You wouldn't do that if you didn't operate from fear.
Why would you create a
Yeah,
hierarchy if you didn't live in fear
yeah.
that you weren't
So,
going to be seen or
so,
noticed
so yeah. Or the
or
resources
have
where,
enough?
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Jay Shaw, you say correct. Correct. Nothing has really excited or moved me on this earth somehow since I was a child. I've discovered that everything material is meaningless, John. It doesn't take much to survive. It's a game.
it is a
Yeah,
game.
but though what I would say it's yes, but you're here now. So what I would say it's you deserve you you're because you are love, you can begin loving every aspect of it. So what I'm saying is that why not then start bringing more beauty aspect of beauty to this material stuff that all feel meaningless. There's a difference between someone that may create some things that people might see as being superficial and the other person doing the same things but with a more loving perspective to it, and allow this experience to be shared so people can that love can radiate from that same said things.
Yeah.
So I would say it's important to then you've got probably a lot more understanding than the average persons, and you could then pull so much more love into this what's be perceived as being meaningless junk.
Yeah.
So just pull the love into that.
You're probably one of the souls who can create something really amazing for everyone to enjoy, especially people who feel the way you do or that you did when you were a kid. There's many kids out there who feel that way now.
Yeah. Some
What can you
yeah,
create for them that
yeah,
might make them feel like this world is a little less shit?
yeah.
Because if anyone's going to have the answer, it's you, isn't it? All right, D-Fish, where can I find your platform? I'll stick it up again. Yeah, it's at Ko-Fi. For now, at some point, once we grapple enough funds, we'll get a website and everything. But for now, we do everything through Ko-Fi. Shelby, so I was drawn to reading cards, and it happened a few years back. I had 3 decks, but growing up in Baptist family, wow, you're reading my story, I'm reading yours. I had so much fear. Is this a sin? Which is funny. Hang on, I lost myself, which is funny. Yeah, of course, it's not. That's what I'm saying. That and that's the thing. I feel like I'm going to say something that might sound silly, but you could probably understand it because of the Baptist judgment and hate. There's cities that I didn't even visit until I was deep in my 30s. Just because my mum told me at the time, if you go there, that's it. Only prostitutes are there. And that's a sin. And it's not that I believed her. I just took it and I acted upon it. I always thought it was a crock of shit. But when I checked it when I was older, I was like, I had never been there though. I never went up against it. And these are the things that we do. These are the soul contracts we make. These are the false contracts we make, the false agreements. It's not that I believed her, but I still didn't go. How much things do we not believe in, but we still act upon it and still consent to it on some level? And then through that, it kind of shapes what our lives look like today. Needless to say, I've been there now. No prostitutes. Fancy that. Could have been there all this time, living my best life. Okay. Even down to, oh, don't wear an anklet because you look like a slapper. What? I've got all the anklets. I'm going to get all the anklets now. That's what I'm doing. I like everything like that. There's so much that we reinforce for other people that are through inaction that become consenting to them. So it's not sometimes you rebelling against it and saying, no, I'm going to go. Sometimes it, or even believing in it. Sometimes it's just staying away from that very thing and not challenging it in a physical sense that make you sign up for it. And it's the same with the tarot. Like, I've got about 5 decks now. And I'm making my business to at least get a deck every 3 months to just be like, yep, I'm getting a deck, and yep, I have a dream, I'm pulling cards. Anything. I'm just, because it's fun, because I like it, because I'm good at it, because I can do it, because I remember. So yeah, that's
So
the whole thing.
So, Jay, you're saying basically too authentic, too bright and radiant attracts most and offends some without even saying a word. Had to keep my head down for years. I can use the exact same words as everyone else, but mine more impact.
It
Yeah,
is what it
because
is.
vibrations, you've got your own tone in your voice, your aura, all of this as is energy, and it's got to go somewhere. So the
Yeah.
more you have, the more it is for the unprepared to bear. But the thing is, you literally you make people see their own shadows, and as a result is you force them to actually have to check themselves, and that's not always really a pleasant thing for everyone to do
Some people aren't ready.
when they're not ready. And you say, honestly, I wanted to go back home as soon as I arrived on this planet. My Earth family have always known that I was different. I've never recognized mother, father, or sibling, but as fellow souls. Yeah,
Yeah,
you saw the truth from an early stage in your life,
you came in awakened.
and
It
but
just is.
then you might as well see that you're here. Like I said, you might as well pull as much as love as you can. You're so radiant. You do it naturally. It's just not everyone recognize it as love.
That's
That's
all
all
it
it is.
is. They're not ready to, and that's fine. And you're here to hold that frequency.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
Clearly.
that's it.
Yeah.
They can take it or leave it. I mean, if your presence alone triggers people, that's a them thing. And what other people really think about you is none of your business.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just it's their own things to deal with.
Keep shining, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there is a lot going on recently as far as energy shifting. I don't know if any of you know about the Schumann resonance. That's a real thing. It's just the base frequency that the earth pulses at. Um if you're somebody who stays grounded all the time, like takes off your shoes, feels the earth beneath their feet, goes out for walks, always in sandals, or making sure you're always making a connection with the floor or ground in some way. Maybe you felt that shift in you, but this is coming in hard and fast, and it doesn't really matter what anyone's ready for anymore. We're past that stage now.
Yeah.
It's gonna unravel. It is unraveling, it's unfolding, and it's up to us what that unfolding looks like individually. And then as that happens individually, it will bloom out. Like you, Jay, you're here, you're doing what you're doing. Just keep being you. Just that's it. Like I said, you're there to hold space for somebody else to see what it looks like to be themselves unapologetically. Not mean, not too much, not whatever. Just you, because you're allowed to do that, because we understand that on the other side there is no offense to be taken, because there's no offense that could be given. Like, it's, you allow everybody to be who they are and stand in their full truth. Like, no one could do anyone harm. So
And the reason why it's important you're here on this earth right now is because you're literally the opportunity for people to transmute what's going on with themselves. You know, you have different actors in this life, and you're gonna cross path with different people, and vice versa. So for you as well, it's an opportunity as well to transmute anything that may be you may need to transmute, and obviously you seems to have done it, because you say I had, you use a, had to say I had to keep my head down for years, which means you don't do that anymore, which means then that is probably what you so wanted to experience this time around. I want to come here with my full self. I want to be, I want to integrate all aspects of my soul here. And that because you probably wanted to experience and transmute certain aspects as well.
Yeah,
So
like we all
yeah.
did. And Shelby, have you got the tarots again? Did you get them back out? Have you got them again? Like, what did you do? Are you back on it? Do you use them for yourself? No, don't apologize.
No offense here, That's lovely.
It is what
Actually,
it
that's
is.
what this live is for, so people can actually authentically share the experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's just perfect. It's
Yeah,
fitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And stranger things have happened, and I'll tell you. So it's not that strange or weird at all. It's
No, yeah.
at all in the slightest. What I will say though is our greatest power right now is our choice to choose how it is we show up. Choose to We already have the knowing that we could be loving or we could be unloving. Choosing to be loving to ourselves, choosing to be authentic and show up, even when it feels scary to do so as ourselves, is part of making this construct dissolve, because you're no longer feeding into someone else's idea of what people are supposed to do, supposed to be, supposed to feel. And the whole aim of this game is putting feeling into matter. And that's why the whole attack of all of this has always been on a feeling level, making you feel down, making you hate Mondays, making you feel scared, making you fearful of asking or telling someone that you love them, or asking for a raise or anything. Because once you operate in that, you can then create systems that are outside of yourself, that are outside of things that serve you. And the more of us do it, the more of the worlds we have that we experience right now exists. And the more we draw back and reclaim most of our energy and in its purest form, and we affirm to that, the more that dissolves and our one starts to manifest. So yeah.
So I think we're done.
I think we
for
are.
today.
Guys, lovingly, I thank you all again. It's so lovely connecting with you all. I could talk forever to you guys. I'll catch you next week. Might do a catch me if you can, depending on what Amondi's intuition says.
Yeah.
And
Well, we'll see. That's the fun part
yeah,
of it,
we will see you next time. You can catch the replay, and we also have another episode out today. So yeah. Love to all. Please just stay exactly how you are. You are your highest self already. You're just remembering it.
Yeah.
Love to you, blessed. Jay, Natalie, Shelby.
Love you guys.
Bye,
Thank you for
Guru.
being here, for
Thank
showing
you
up.
all.
It's
Thanks
very
for showing
important.
up.
And yeah, and chat to one another as well when you have the opportunity to.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon. See ya.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye, Gretel.